as Monica said, we've been doing this and we will continue to do this regularly. It's well overstated that we are in unprecedented times, but we want to be able during this time to communicate with our members, hear feedback from all of you, try to answer questions, and certainly hear suggestions. Since we last met, a great deal has shifted. As we've all read and are experiencing, the cases in the state of Arizona have continued to rise. And as such, the governor has closed fitness centers, and we have certainly complied with that and have closed our fitness center until the end of July. We consulted with the governor's office to be sure that what we wanted to remain open was able to remain open. So we have our swimming pool, which is available for lap swim early in the morning and later in the afternoon, and for individual or small group swimming lessons during the course of the day as part of our early childhood and camp program. Additionally, we are able to have tennis available, and people are signing up and paying for tennis. And we also have pickleball now, which we have added to the outdoor experience here at the J. Starting on Monday morning this week, we have a very small but committed group of people that have started to play pickleball on our new youth courts that are outside of the Sarver Tennis Center. And camp and early childhood remain open. We do continue to offer a complement of group fitness classes using the online platform. And we have a number of other services that you can find in our virtual community that are available online for people. And we will continue to find more and more ways we hope to be able to meet the needs of our members in the community as we navigate ourselves through this particular time. I do want to pause at different points so that I'm not always talking, in the hopes that you all will have some questions, or given that we have a bit of a smaller group today, that maybe we can just have more of a conversation over the next half hour to 45 minutes. So I'm going to stop and see who would like to chime in. So as we move through towards opening again, and we, at the moment, the date that we are targeting opening the fitness center will be the last Monday in July, or the 27th of July. We will open with the same protocols. It is our hope that as we open, we will have confirmed information 36 hours in advance, so we can announce that we're opening up the online sign up so people can get right in there and begin to sign up for their spot to work out. We will be following the same protocol of 35 people at a time in the fitness center, with hour blocks and a half hour to clean. We will be having some conversation during this time about whether or not we're ready to move through group fitness. That was something that we had committed to looking at right after the 4th, and we certainly aren't going to delay consideration. I'm not promising that we're going to move right into group fitness, but we will certainly look at that and look at how and if we can use the gymnasium for both open recreation in a smaller way, or some type of group fitness experience. So everything is being considered. With the delay of in-person school until the 17th, we believe that everyone is going to go back to school online starting on August 10th, and in-person school will be delayed. But we're also looking at options to provide service to children after school or as part of their school day. And we will consider that as an option so that parents, as a convenience for parents who need to and want to go to work and don't want to or can't stay at home while their kids are online at school. So again, I'll pause periodically and see if you all have any questions. And I thank you all for joining us. I know that we had certainly hoped the last time that we gathered that we would be advancing through other phases, and I am certainly, it's been challenging to have to pause and go backwards, but it is right now the right thing to do, and we certainly are going to comply with that. We've also navigated through, our summer camp and our early childhood program this summer, following the strict guidelines of our protocols and acting with an abundance of caution, because our ability to open and stay open is really based on our ability to not veer off of the plan and the protocol that we set out, to do our very best to keep all of us, our staff, our members, our children, our community, healthy and safe while they're here, using the facility. Anyone have a topic they'd like to chat about? We can talk about anything, because we're fairly informal here today.
Would you like to talk about the New York Yankees?
I'm sorry, we have a bad connection. I thought somebody wanted to talk about baseball.
How is your staff feeling? Are they able to keep their spirits up and work through this?
We have a remarkable team here at the J, and I think everyone certainly is challenged by this. This is not easy, and it would be foolish to say that this is easy on anyone emotionally, but our staff come to work every day committed to serving the members, and have kept good spirits and understanding as to what this means, and have been incredibly agile, as some have had to transition to working at home for a little while, or some have had to cope with some reduced hours, as we've both obviously not having the fitness center open and modified some other hours. So we're continuing to do our best to check in with our staff, and we appreciate, in all honesty, how kind the members have been with questions like that, Mike. We're getting those every day from people who are really concerned about our staff, and
Sure.
That's what makes us a community. And no, I'm not going to talk about the New York Yankees or the Boston Red Sox, Amy. Anyone else have a question?
Are you going to seek out Patrick Mahomes for a contribution?
That is entirely possible. So Patrick Mahomes plays football for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he just signed a $500 million contract. And that's what Mike is referring to.
I'm going to ask a question, but it's actually of Goldie. Hope you're there. Since we don't really have a topic to talk about, and there aren't a lot of parents on, Goldie, if you can unmute yourself, can you talk about the parents' perspective and how this is going, how we're doing?
Sure.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah, well, funny story. We're actually at home because we were one of the classes affected by one of the potentially exposed rooms. So, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, buddy. One thing that we were curious about actually was, so here's my question, and then I'll answer your question. I was curious, there was a brief mention in an email from Todd about the possibility of extending camp due to the fluid situation with when schools are actually going to start this year. And I was curious if there had been any more thought in regards to that. But as it's going for a parent, I mean, we assume risk by sending our children to the J. And the only reason why we're comfortable doing it is because we feel like you are doing your best to handle it responsibly and do your best to, mitigate other people potentially being affected. So by keeping the kids in small pods and stuff like that, we feel like that's the best way to move forward by giving the kids a good experience, interacting with their peers in a pretty normal way, while trying to minimize risk to everyone. So we're grateful. We're grateful for the few weeks that we've been able to attempt at working full time without also being full-time parents. So thank you.
So Goldie, let me answer the question about camp. We did and we are looking at extending camp for any schools that are not going back to school online. We certainly don't want to compete or make parents choose between coming to camp or sending their kids to school online. At the same time, we are exploring whether or not there might be a model where we could be a place that parents could drop their kids off and do online school here while supervised in a small group, and then the parents could continue to go to work. Certainly the same protocols would be in place, and the part of the wrestling match being really transparent is during that period of time, if there is a case that arises that affects that Zoom school classroom that we've created, it could then put those children out of going to regular school right away when it comes in person. So we're really trying to suss out all the potential positives, but also some of the potential pitfalls before we roll something out. But I'm very comfortable saying honestly that we are looking at things, and to Lisa, to your point, our parents have been really agile with us, and I know it's inconvenient when you get with literally a day's notice that a classroom is going to be closed for a week or two, and you need to pivot and stay home. But I think actually Goldie answered that really well by saying it's part of the assumed risk, and we're doing everything we can to mitigate that. But we also want to be consistent in our application of our protocols in order to keep people safe, and not say, well, in 2 days we'll do this and just extend the potential exposure.
Todd, Larry and I just looked at each other. We're elated that you guys are even having a conversation about trying to figure out if you could do some sort of keep the kids entertained for fractions of the day with online schooling. The fact that that's even in your brain is, we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And thank Larry. Sometimes these kind of situations really foster creativity that we might not have thought of in other situations. So I really believe coming out of this, whenever we get to the reality that will exist after this transition, there will be things that we have learned and things that we have done and ways in which we've served the community that will continue, that will be part of the ecosystem of what RJ offers to the community. And I think we will only come through this stronger. It's navigating these really challenging waters, which are challenging to the staff, as we've talked about, to the parents, as we've said. I know to the members who are just getting back into working out, to have to pause that, and to the organization, to be very candid, we had just gotten back to starting to earn income from membership and from programming on a regular basis, and having to shut down again has certainly caused a hardship in that way as well. So we are all in this storm together, and we're all experiencing the challenges of it in different ways, but we are at least 6 feet apart, standing shoulder to shoulder. Other thoughts or suggestions that you might have, or things that you'd like to see that maybe we can do in a distant way that we've not yet explored? Would love to hear from you. I certainly, and Monica has put my email into the chat. Into the chat, and you certainly can email me directly or info@tucsonjcc.org. And we will continue to do this every couple of weeks, and we'll make sure to get the word out about the things that we're doing. Thank you for that good feedback. We're very proud, actually, of the protocols that we've created. I think that our team has done a great job in consultation with many others for this. Well, we look forward to navigating through and being able to see everyone and have our families and our children be able to be here in the way in which we're used to. And we appreciate all of you plugging into these calls and to just being a part of our community. So I will, again, stay on if anyone wants to stay on until everyone's gone. But have a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Stay safe, drink lots of water, and we hope to see you soon.